Hi everyone, welcome to another Creative English Club mini. Today we'll be joined by our special guest who represented her country in the Cannes Lions as a student, and we're very excited to hear from her journey. Let's get started. If this is your first time in the Creative English Club, we're here in a space where we share connections and we're just here to practice a language that unites so many parts of the world. So we're going to be connecting with people from different countries and different backgrounds, all in English, so we can practice our language skills and also do that worldwide networking. I'm Maddie. I'm currently an intern at Amex in Toronto, Canada, and I'm also a marketing student. So still doing the whole internship part of my career. And yeah, I'm going to be mediating these talks with our lovely guests that are new each week. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce to our mediators of this week. So first, I'm going to call on Vitor, if he could come on here and introduce himself.
Hello guys, I'm Vitor. I'm an art director from Brazil. I'm currently living in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and I'm working with Heineken beer brands. And I think that's it.
Amazing. Thank you, Vitor. And next we have Tami.
Hey, I'm Tamiris. I'm a advertising student, and that's it for now.
Thank you, Tami. Next, Huchi.
Hi guys, I'm Ruchi. I'm studying advertising at Universidade Federal do Ceará and I'm creative assistant at Hakun.
Amazing. Next we have Leo.
Hello guys, my name is Leonardo. I study engineering, but right now I'm working as a digital traffic manager. I really love in this strategic analytic area, and I was formed in Universidade Federal do Paraná. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Tiago.
Hi, my name is Thiago. I'm 21. I'm living in Curitiba and I'm an advertising student at PUC Paraná.
Thank you, Tiago. And now on to our special guest of this week. I'm going to call on her to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatma and I'm from Dubai and I study at the American University in Dubai, Visual Communication and Advertising.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to hear more about your journey and your aspirations as well. So if Victor could come back to the screen a little bit and talk a little bit about her career so everyone watching is also aware of exactly who is joining us, that would be great. So Victor?
Okay, so guys, today we're going to talk with Fatma. As she said, she's a visual communication and advertising student in Dubai, and this year she was selected at the Roger Hatchuel Academy to be in Cannes Lions this year. And she presented an amazing project called The Building Black Veil, and she discovered the link between poetry, marketing, and the abaya. So, Fatima, for those who are watching us right now, I would like you to talk a little bit about your experience in Cannes and the Roger Hatchuel Academy this year. And also, I would like to know if you needed to tell us what were your biggest learning in this experience, what would it be?
Okay, so being selected by Cannes Lions and Roger Hatchuel Academy has been an honor. First of all, I'll talk about the process of being picked. So they conducted an interview where they interviewed people from all over the UAE, and they picked 3 finalists. Now, lucky for our university, the 3 finalists we're all friends. Like we're all in the same class. We were like best friends. So we were like excited and we were like rooting for each other, so that was fun. So Motivate Val Morgan is the company that selected us, and then they send a video of us like talking about our passion in advertising to the panel of judges in Cannes, and then they pick the finalists. When I got to Cannes, it was first of all amazing. meeting big names in the ad industry and learning hands-on. Learning hands-on from them was like a dream come true. Like I remember the first like event that I went to, there were like celebrities everywhere, and I was like really like starstruck, and it was amazing. So the learning experiences, first of all, I think like the three takeaways that is important in Cannes is number one, put yourself out there. Like you're there to meet people, to create connections, to because back home, like there's no way you can like casually go talk to the CEO of a giant company. So definitely take advantage. Like you're in a festival where everyone in advertising is there. Second of all, I think take it one step at a time. So with Cannes, there's a lot of talks, and sometimes it can be like hectic and you don't know like what to choose. So definitely prioritize and take it one step at a time. Second of all, expect the unexpected. Like honestly, like I remember being in class and they were like, Malala's coming. I'm like, the Malala, like Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala is joining us. And it was unreal. Like people were crying in class. Like it was heartwarming. And I took a selfie with her. It was amazing. And then other than that, during the lectures, when you learn from experts, it's really different. So make sure to always sit down, listen, take notes, because I've learned like so much. And like I've learned like about like branding, about marketing, about target audience, about like so many different things from different perspectives from people that have been in the industry for years. So if you have the chance to go to Cannes Lions Festival, definitely take it. Wow. I hope that was good enough of an answer.
Yes, it was perfect, Fatma. Thank you. Especially the part you said, put yourself out there. I think is amazing advice for us because sometimes we are a shy person and we don't want to bother someone and talk a little bit. And I think this is amazing for us to hear. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Like sometimes it's hard, especially when you're putting someone that is so far from you, like career wise, like someone who's already like a senior in the like huge company and you're like, who am I to talk to this person, right? So I guess like just piggybacking on that, like real quick, do you have any pinpointed like advice for people who are maybe insecure about approaching someone? Like how would you do it? Do you like introduce yourself first, or do you go straight to the point with the question? What's your personal experience with that?
Okay, so in the beginning, I was really reserved, but I've noticed that smiling helps a lot. When you smile and you like enter a space smiling, like a lot of people kind of like you're open to conversation. And you can simply just like, because, okay, when you go to Cannes Lions Festival, you wear name tags, and that helped us a lot. So it'd be like, oh, you work in advertising. Oh, we're students from we just like casually like even like we talk to them as if like we're casual friends, like not as if like, oh my god, you're the CEO of this company. Just like be casual with them, and they're very friendly. A lot of people are there to scout students, so it's people are there to meet others, to connect. So it's really easy actually to connect with others.
Amazing. And I'm sure everyone like hearing appreciates that. And that applies to even like scaled down situations as well. So if you're like in a networking event in your city, that still counts as like an opportunity. And I'm sure everyone is open to talking as well. So that is great. Thank you for your answer. And next we're gonna have Debbie with her question.
Hey Fatma, I'm really excited to talk to you. So I was reading your bio and I took a look into your portfolio, and something that I connect a lot to what I believe is about the advertising role or purpose, how it can change behaviors in a positive way. I think it's amazing. And for example, how your case, R37, fights the stereotype that women don't wear colorful clothes. So I was wondering, how do you use this advertising power, and How is your process to make a respectful and inspiring representation?
Okay, so I think with advertising, what's really important is storytelling. Okay, and like, okay, so the story of the beauty in the black veil is knowing what the target audience wants. So my field of like my major in the American University in Dubai, what we do is that we first research. So we do a lot of research based on like psychographics and like what we try to pinpoint what people want, and out of that we create a big idea, and then we go into the visuals, because like, you know, art also has a huge impact in advertising. And about the story of the beauty in the black veil, like, women just wanted to feel beautiful, and I think that's like, you know, that's amazing. And the fact that this poem lasted thousands of years and its effect is still here, but it kind of reversed the effect where people were taking it like too literally, like, oh, we have to just like wear black, like we can't wear colors, but that's not true, you know. So I wanted to create the campaign of, why don't we question the illogical? Like, it's okay, like we can express ourselves in color, we don't have to stick to black. I mean, that's why I included black in my collection. I mean, I love like wearing black, but I also love expressing myself in different colors. So I think the answer is just try to understand the person and what the person feels and what they want, so you can actually connect to the audience. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. That's amazing. And it's really hard when we misunderstand and I think it's amazing that you resimplify this. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was an awesome question. And just for everyone watching for reference as well, like we're gonna, if you haven't seen it already on like Redhook's post, we're gonna link her portfolio like on the description. So feel free to take a look yourself and dive deep into that amazing project, which is definitely worth taking a look. Yeah. So next I'm gonna call on Huchi so she can ask her question.
Hello, Fatma.
Hi.
Uh, when I read your case, the R37 case, I thought it was an amazing idea, the way you did the whole process, and the result was fantastic. So I would like to know how important is participating in programs like Cannes Lions School for advertising students.
So I think it's really important, because like you get to see what's not kind of in the market. You're kind of like backstage looking at how experts work, how they think, the thought process. You get insights on things that you never thought of. And I think like going there, I had an amazing mentor, Surfi. Actually, from the start, my Professor Dina Farwa, she's the head of advertising in the American University in Dubai. She's an amazing mentor, and I can't stress enough how it's important to find good mentors out there, because they can lead you. If it was not for her, I would not be in Cannes Lions, and I wouldn't have, you know, experienced like all of this. So I think like going there, and even when you go to Cannes Lions, you can find mentors there. You're there to learn, you're there to experience, you're there to see the unseen. So I think it's definitely a valuable experience, and I would, like, I would like, I don't know how to say it, sorry. Like, it would be awesome if more people like knew about it and they applied for it and they wanted to go. I would, you know, yeah. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
And you're definitely doing your part in spreading awareness on that program. Like I first heard it looking at your like past experience from like what Selena told me. So definitely amazing. Like it's something that I didn't hear when I was still studying advertising in Brazil. So it's an incredible opportunity that like more people should definitely be aware of. And just piggybacking on the like what you touched upon about mentors, that's something I've been hearing a lot as well. And I personally like never saw exactly like how to approach this. Sometimes the mentorship happens naturally. So, for example, doing an internship, your maybe your superior is going to be your mentor, and that kind of just happens naturally. But you mentioned your mentor at the university that helped you a lot. Was it something? How do you go about mentorship? Do you see it as a more formal thing, as you ask someone to be there for you, or do you see it as something that just really happens more in a more fluid way, like where you're just comfortable coming to her for questions? Like how do you see mentorship in your career?
I think so. To start off, honestly, I did not major in advertising. I actually majored in architecture. And first year, I wanted to change. And people thought I was crazy because they're like, you're doing so well. Why would you change? And I'm like, there's no passion. And I remember one summer, because AUD used to offer PACE workshops for free for students, and I joined this class. And Professor Dina Farour was she was in charge of this workshop, and I remember just like feeling like I belong here. You know, I want to do this, and I joined advertising, and she was the head of advertising, and I fell in love with her teaching style because she doesn't, you know, she's a professor that makes you feel like she's always there for you. She really cares about you learning. So try to find someone that really like cares about you and wants that. And she was like that with all the students, like honestly, like, and I feel like for me it naturally happened. And I used to visit her during her office hours and, you know, show her my projects, and it gradually her becoming like my mentor. Or you can also, like, if you admire someone, I don't see why not like going up to them and being like, can you mentor me? Like, I am, you know, a student, I don't know what I'm doing, can you help me out? And I don't see why not. Like, I don't think they'll say no. Like, I'm sure they'll help if they're a good mentor.
Absolutely. And usually I find that if you're already admiring someone, there's a reason for that. So it's very likely that they're going to be open to helping. And so that's amazing advice. Thank you for that. Next, we have Leo with his question.
Hello, Fatma. How are you doing? My question is really maybe sound generic, but feel free to say what as you please, or don't know. So, what if I will read it because I just write it? What if someone here in Brazil would like to go for a graduate course in Dubai and work as well? Under these conditions, what advice can you give? Do all universities have the same entry requirement? Or do you know any good companies that are good at these specific exchange programs? If you don't know any of this, if you can answer any of these questions, don't worry. It's just a generic question that may help someone out there watching us. Just thought of it.
So, fun fact about Dubai actually. Last time I checked, only 10% of the people living here are like locals. Like, the rest are from mm, different nationalities. So 90% of the people living here are from all over the world. So Dubai is very open in like receiving people from outside. Like I grew up like in my class from people from all over the world. I think it's just like it's not, you don't have to know Arabic, but I think it is like a little important to know how to speak English, because everyone here communicate, because it's different nationalities. We typically use like English to communicate. But other than that, like if you apply, I don't see why not companies like would accept you. I think they definitely will. I mean, it's multinational like city, so I think like they would like accept you. So that's my input on this.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a really generic question, but thank you for answering it. But anyway.
No worries. Thank you.
No, that was a great question, Leo. And I'm sure like there is a lot to be learned if you go to a place where 90% of the people are from all over. That's so interesting. I didn't know it would be like such a high rating. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. And last but not least, we have Tiago with his question.
Hi, Fatma.
Hi.
I would like to say I was also amazed by the R37 case on how you were able to make something beautiful out of the poem. It was really a great idea. So I was wondering, I wanted to ask you, like, if you felt stuck at any point in your creative process while developing the idea, what to do when you feel stuck, because this creative process isn't, sometimes it doesn't come to you, right? So
I think that's a great question. So something that my mentor, Professor Dina Farah, taught me is that don't stop at one execution or one idea. When you're in that process, write everything that comes in mind. Just like have a notebook, anything, write everything down. And you'll see yourself connecting the dots. And if that doesn't work, try to look at inspirational work. Look at what's going on out there. Like, I can't stress enough how important it is to look at other examples, other, because that's how you develop yourself. So if you're stuck, either write everything that comes in mind or just take a break and look at other, marketing strategies out there, and you can be inspired by them. So I hope that answered your question.
yes, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And I think everyone has their own like creative process or their own like creative like Kickstarters, like you said. Is there something personally to you that really helps? Like we've had people already like come on here and say like, oh, I go to a park or I go to the movies, like that kind of just like mashes up my brain a little bit. Is there something for you that feels like that really something specific that helps you like your creative juices flow?
I think what helped me a lot, and I think that reflects on my the project R37. What I do is that I like to read historical advertising. Like a lot of brands, like for example in America, Saatchi and Saatchi, like Leo Burnett, what they did back then, like specifically ads that turned into tradition, like for example, that orange juice wasn't like a tradition, but because they had like excess like oranges and they needed a way to sell them, so they started this whole campaign how oranges are healthy in the morning, and now to this day they're like tradition. So I like to read like a lot of history and get inspiration from that. So
That's amazing. And you just like research like generally, do you go like to your university resources? Is there like a favorite website that you may access like that has like historical cases?
I mostly just like look at articles online. I look at a lot of videos. Like I like watching like videos. Like it helps me because I'm a visual learner. So if you're like a visual learner or you prefer listening to audio stuff or like writing things down, I think whatever like preferred method. When it's winter, I love to sit outside because like in Dubai, our winter is basically spring. So I like to sit outside. Sometimes going to like a coffee shop or changing, spaces. But one thing that I've noticed that when you work, try not to work where you sleep. Like so like when you work where you sleep, like for example in your bedroom, like on your bed, you just like want to fall asleep because that's where your mind goes. So try to change locations, go to different places, and yeah, that usually helps me.
Amazing. That's great advice. And I'm sure a lot of people have been working where they sleep since like we started the whole like virtual working environment as well. So that's very valid. Yeah, and just so everyone on the audience knows, everyone who's watching, you can send in questions on the comments, and we're gonna be able to see them and put them up here so our guests can answer. So feel free to send whatever questions. And I guess another question that I had for you as well is we talked a lot about the KR37 because it's just like, I guess, a highlight in our portfolio. But was it your favorite to work on? Is there something else that you worked that you're really proud of that you want to talk to us a little about?
Yeah. So I love the R37. It's a branding project. I want to focus more on branding because I get really excited, like creating a brand story, mission, vision, values. I really love doing that. So my favorite would be like the first brand I ever created, which was like level 100, and just like creating like the patterns and the colors and like all of that, like because it's like the first brand, like I'm really like proud of that like project. So yeah.
Amazing. And I'm sure that everyone who's watching and participating here as well, like I mentioned before, we have people from various different backgrounds. Do you have any specific tips then for someone who's going specifically into branding? I know you mentioned about thinking about the end consumer, right? Like doing a lot of research. Is there something beyond that that you think is essential to branding?
Yeah, so when it comes to so okay, so in this like day and age, I feel like a lot of people focus only on statistics, on the business side of things, like looking at numbers, looking at what works, but um that works, but sometimes you need to kind of dig deeper and like give a meaning to it, give a story, because that's how when you sell something, you want them to be on your side, like not against you. You know what I mean? So once you kind of connect with the audience, like with the story, you have them on your side. And I think, yeah, that's really important.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And next, I guess this would be more of a general knowledge question, so we can all like learn a little bit about how it works there in Dubai, like for like higher education. For example, in Brazil, I know we have like technical courses, but our universities, especially for communication, are around 4 years, and then we do like it's very you pick your major right at the start, as opposed to like in North America, we can see that people do like if they want to go to university to be more academic, they're gonna start off with broader studies and then pick their major along the way, or go straight to a college where it's similar to a technical course where they would be 1 year, 2 years with something very specific to learn. How is it there? Like, can you walk us through the whole like education system, and if someone has the interest to study, like how would they go about choosing their course?
Okay, so it really depends on the university you're picking. Like there are universities like Zaid University where it's like general and then you pick and choose. Our university, it's general, but in a sense where, for example, you have to know what you're really interested in. Like if you're interested in visual communication, there are like four kind of visual communication majors you can pick from. So there's like advertising, studio art, graphic design, and digital media. And when we start off our like first 2 years, it's very like general. We kind of like all of us are taking the same courses, and then you can change like whether you want from graphic design to advertising, and a lot of people have done that. Same with business. So in business, like there's like management, accounting, and you always start off general and then you pick and choose. Honestly, I think we need like a foundation course to help students like pick and choose, because I graduated from university at 17 and I knew that my main area of interest was art, but I had no idea that I would end up in advertising. And I'm happy, I'm grateful to have ended up in advertising, but I'm sure like a lot of kids graduate and are like lost. So don't worry. At 17, you're not going to know like most of the time what you want to major in. I think taking it one step at a time and really, really loving it, really loving it. There are some students that I've talked to in university that don't really love what they're doing. They're like, I just want to get this over with. I just want to graduate. And I felt that at some point with architecture. And so I was like, no, I need to change my major because I can't see myself doing this in the future. So find something that you're really interested in and something you can see yourself doing in the long run, because that's how you're going to excel in it. So, yeah.
That's inspiring advice. So thank you for that. And now that we're talking about choosing paths, and you already found your love for advertising, which is something incredible. I'm so glad that like we can see from the way you talk about it how passionate you are about it. So that's very special. In terms of next steps for your career, what are you looking forward in the future?
Okay, so with our program in the American University in Dubai, it's very general. Like they teach you everything so they teach you copywriting, like marketing, like in advertising field, graphic design. They teach you so many things connected to advertising. That's why, like when I mentioned before, what we do is like we do research and then big idea and then execution. So we create everything from A to Z. But in the industry, usually you kind of you're more narrowed down, like you're either a copywriter or you work with branding or you're an art director. And for me, like I want to master in something more specific. So far it's between art direction or branding, so I definitely want to master in one of those. And after that, I want to work in the industry, and I really want to be a professor. I want to so one thing that I've done in my during my years in university is that I try to always help everyone. So anyone that needs help, come and ask me or anything, like, oh, like you need help with this, like you need my opinion on something, because like helping them, like in the beginning I was just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna do this like as a nice gesture, but throughout the years I realized that when you teach, you learn. So trying to figure out like a big idea for a campaign, like for my friend, helped me into new insights. So I think like it's important to create a community where you help each other and not create a competition where it's more like destroying each other. And yeah, I hope that answered your question.
That definitely did, and it's so nice that you have already that goal of like being a professor. That's amazing, and I hope, like, I'm sure you'll get there. You've been doing incredible so far, like reaching beyond your program. So that's so nice, and I guess like passion speaks through, and there is nothing that is gonna like teach people more than just like hearing someone passionately talking about a subject that kind of just motivates people. Like there is no technical knowledge that you can't learn from a book, but that kind of like eagerness to learn, you can't really teach that, or like you can't really passively pass on that. So that's very nice. Yeah, and I'm just gonna call on all our mediators to come back here as well, so they can ask additional questions. And yeah, just giving everyone the floor. So whoever has an extra question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. So I know, who was it? I think.
I don't know. It's not a technical question, but how did you felt you met Malala? I think it's amazing.
So actually, I knew about Malala when I was in middle school, because I remember we had to do a presentation and we had to pick any topic we wanted. And recently I watched a documentary about Malala, and I remembered how students that I had like in class with me, like girls, they were saying that, oh, like we don't really want to continue our education, we're just gonna marry someone like once we graduate, which is like very young, like 17, 18-year-olds, they're like, oh, we don't need to be independent, we'll just like stay at home and all of that. And it's your choice, but I think education is also really important. And her story really inspired me, and I presented it in class, and I actually changed some of the girls' minds, and they continued on to graduation. And then seeing her in real life in front of me almost brought me to tears. Like she was right there, and it was really emotional. And she talked about her story, and she gave amazing advice, and she's just an amazing human being that I hope everyone aspires to be like. She honestly like deserves like winning the Nobel Peace Prize. But I was starstruck honestly because I've known her for so long. So yeah.
And it's amazing. I think because you're going to be a professor, so I think it's like a legacy, you know.
Yeah. Thank you for your question.
That's amazing, and I love that you did a presentation and you already had an impact. Yeah, like I said, it's everyone's choice, but it just helps, like, I guess when people know of like all the choices in front of them and having people like as inspirations as Malala, that always makes a difference. So thank you for sharing that. That's very nice. Any other questions from maybe who's here? Any extra questions? It can be very general. Don't worry.
I have a question. You said like uh, in in your experience, you found it that smile and be very open to conversation is a good idea. Like being casual, and I know that's kind of difficult for some people, like shy people. So I was just wondering if you have any advice, like the person wants to say something but like freezes. What can you do?
I think if you're like too shy and to approach someone, I think just smiling at them, just like going like near them, smiling, like, because when you're like kind of uh like serious, like you're just like serious, like it's also hard for them to approach you. So I think like smiling really it makes a huge difference. Like if you look at someone, like just like smile, just wave, don't say anything, they might come to you like and approach you. So I think don't take it one step at a time. Like try smiling at first, and then maybe later on try waving, and then say hi, and like take it. And you can take as long as you want until you get used to it. But I used to be a really shy person because I came from an all girl school, and then when I went to university, it was a mixed environment. So it was very hard for me because my whole life I wasn't around like a mixed environment. But then, like, I kind of put in my head, oh, they're just humans like me. Like they might be shy like me, and like just like smiling and waving, and little by little you get used to it, and it becomes easier. Like I promise. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No.
And also I found it very helpful what you said about like changing locations, because it was something I thought about, because like I do a lot of my work, my study at my bedroom. So, and that's something I think a lot. Like I almost fall asleep all the time that I'm working on something. So I found it very interesting.
Yeah, I used to be. I'm glad you found it helpful. I used to be like you too. Like I would just like open the laptop and then I would fall asleep, and it would be so bad because I would miss lectures. And then like I decided to just like any room, like just like take your laptop and go anywhere besides your bedroom and like sit down, and it helps a lot.
Nice, thanks.
No worries.
Awesome. And one question that I thought of, like, also, since we talked so much about Cannes and, like the whole award environment and everything, is there another, like, maybe award type ceremony that you're interested in being someday, that you have, like, a goal of reaching? I know here, like, we talk a lot about South by Southwest in the US, who is just, like, more innovation and, like, also communication technology. And then we have, like, a different I guess like different awards within the advertising community. So is there somewhere else where you have like a goal to be someday?
Yes. So when I went to Cannes Lions, I didn't really go as a contestant or with an agency that like created an ad or anything like that. I went as a student, and I looked at their work, and I hope to one day come back with an agency and to win a Lions award. Like that would be an honor, because like like you sit there and you look at amazing work, and you wish that one day you can create something as amazing as that and create an impact like they did. So I really hope to go back to Cannes Lions one day in the future and win awards from there.
Amazing. I'm sure you get there. You.
Thank you.
No, for sure. Any other questions from everyone here? I think we're all good. So I think we're just gonna move on to like our next segment of the talk here. So I'm just gonna share some like quick, very like fast expressions that we have for in terms of like language, and a disclaimer that I do every week is that I'm not an English teacher or professor. I'm not here to correct everyone's grammar or anything of the sort. I'm just gonna share some things that maybe we can work on incorporating in our own vocabulary. So yeah, just waiting for the slides to be here, and then we can pull them on the screen so everyone can see. Because I guess like everyone here is already like with a very nice level of English. It's just a matter of enriching it. So yeah, here we have our screen. So starstruck, I think it's oops, I missed an S there. So it's starstruck. There is an S between the like after the star. I'm sorry, like I'm typing it as we speak. So can definitely fix that later so people can take their notes and everything, but it's just being in awe or something or facing something impressionable. So I think we were talking about meeting so many people that are like basically celebrities in the advertising world. So you're starstruck, you're kind of struck by this this, you know, being amazed by who you're faced with or what you're amazed with. So yeah, it's just a nice word that we can use in various different contexts. Scale down. So this is something that we mentioned when we were talking about networking. So for example, there is the opportunity about Cannes Lions, which is, you know, huge. It doesn't get much, like it doesn't get bigger than that. But then on a scaled down version, we could have, you know, networking events between agencies or something regional. So it's basically something just reduced in size with the same purpose. Pinpoint, if you don't know what a pin is that little like piece of like metal that you just like use to pin a paper to the wall, for example, or just like pin a note on your notebook. So you're just picking something to point out. So pinpointing something, you're picking something out of a hole to focus on. And I think this is the last one we have for today's session, connecting the dots. This is a very easily understandable expression, but sometimes we don't think to incorporate it in our own vocabulary, so thought it would be nice to highlight it. Just making a connection, but it's a very nice way to express it. So you're just taking two separate dots that might be, you know, far from each other and just connecting them by making a sort of association. And yeah, I think that is it for today on terms of expressions. And now I would just like for everyone to leave you know, like a thoughtful like last message on how this experience went for them. And yeah, so I'm gonna start with Tammy.
Oh, it was amazing. You are so wise and kind. I I love meeting you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, honestly.
Amazing. Huchi?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so important have a conversation like this. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Leo?
I think it's really nice meeting other culture people around the world. So as in this pandemic, we was stuck here. We wasn't able to go to other places, and so it's a really nice opportunity here to talk with other people abroad the world. So thanks again. It was really nice from you.
Amazing. Thiago?
I thought it was very nice too. Like there are a lot of things I'll take and try to do like in my life. So I really thought it was really cool. Like you're a very confident person, so it was nice to talk with you, and it was like very nice how you answered all the questions and were open to the talk. So thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Victor?
It was amazing experience, super rich, and I think the end of this lesson, I think we are all human, talk to other humans, and with love and kindness, we can build a better world. For example, the project of Fatima is an amazing. So thank you so much, Fatima. You're an amazing student and amazing human.
Thank you so much, guys. Um, is it my
Yeah.
turn or?
No,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like you feel free to like share whatever you want, but I'm definitely gonna like give you the space to give your special like last advice. But before we do that, I just like to compliment what everyone said. First of all, congrats everyone for just like going out of your comfort zone and being here and talking to our guests. We know it's not like easy, and especially not like in a Saturday morning. So thank you so much for being here and participating and taking the time to prepare your questions. They were all great. So we really appreciate this, and I hope that everyone feels inspired to also join. So anyone who might be watching from just like a watcher standpoint, like the way we can participate in the Redhook English Club. So you just have to be a part of the Redhook Creative Community and have a level of English you feel comfortable with. So nothing special, just like so you can interact with our guests, and then it's just a matter of scheduling. It's like simple as that. We would just like schedule you with our next talks, and then we have a different guest every week, and you can come in, practice your English, and just make those connections. I am sure that everyone has, like, if you haven't already, checked Red Hook social. So everyone here has already like made a video this week in preparation for this meeting. So if you'd like to go there and connect, this is one of the main goals, right? Beyond language is just to make connections. So connect with Fatma, connect with everyone else, just so we can keep those like networking strings going and make the most of like this conversation. So I appreciate everyone who's watching as well, and thank you so much, Fatma. I'm gonna open the floor now for you to make it like give any special like last advice to everyone who's here with us.
I wanted to say that all of you are so nice, and the fact that you guys looked at my portfolio and like asked me amazing questions, like, and invited me here. Like, I'm so happy to have like met all of you guys, and I'm gonna follow you now all on Instagram. And really, like, thank you so much. And I hope to one day come to Brazil and meet you in person. And you've all been wonderful. And yeah, thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here again. And it's amazing to see how far you've come in such a like short term in your career, and I can't wait to see what you do next. So it's yeah, thank you so much for being here with us. And that being said, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll see everyone hopefully on our next Creative English Club meeting. Thanks you guys.
Bye.